So the problem was caused by us. The problem needs to be solved by us. We don't have a moment to lose. It's a problem that we all must face, and we must all take responsibility for it. It's not insurmountable, but time is short. We're running out of time. Worrying about changing our light globes in our homes is a preposterous waste of time. Sure, by all means, go ahead and do it, but you can't take livestock off the agenda. Without it, we're wasting our time. It must be front and center of everything we do.
Please continue watching to find out more.
Hello, energetic viewers. I am Noah from Wonderfield, Australia. Our enthusiastic people wish you great health and good spirits always. Welcome to the finale of our four-part show on Mr. Philip Wollen, the courageous Australian investment banker who had all the material trappings of the success at his fingertips as the Vice President of Citibank, yet walked away from it all to dedicate his life to help improve the lives and well-being of our earthly co-inhabitants. In previous episodes, we showcased Mr. Wollen's 30 years of wide-ranging humanitarian work across the planet, paving the way towards a world in which all beings live in compassion and nobility. In his ardent hope to see more changes at the legislative level in governments, he has also called for an end to government subsidies for meat and dairy, and thrown his support behind a political party in Victoria, the Animal Justice Party, which fights for the rights of animals.
About 10 years ago, I concluded that the only way for us to create a paradigm shift in the ways in which the body politic worked was for there to be a political party dedicated significantly, but not exclusively, to the care and protection of animals, of non-human animals. And I offered at that time to put up a significant amount of money to set it up. And over the years, as a consequence, today in Australia, there is the Animal Justice Party.
One member of the Animal Justice Party, Mr. Andy Medic, was the first Australian politician to be elected in the state of Victoria on an animal protection platform. In an interview with Supreme Master Television, he expressed his deep appreciation for Mr. Wollen's support and guidance.
Philip is a towering figure to everyone in the Animal Justice Party. He's provided an enormous amount of support in many ways over many years, from its inception right through to the present day. At this point in time, we now have 3 members elected in a very short space of time, very short number of years. We have 2 in New South Wales and myself in Victoria, and that is largely due to the support and the guidance that Philip's been able to give over the years. I don't think that, not just in Australia, worldwide, that you would find anybody who has been as important as Philip Wollen to the vegan movement. He is the epitome of compassion. He is the epitome of getting your hands dirty, getting in and doing what's required. He is responsible for changing the minds and the hearts of, I would say, millions of people around the world.
Mr. Wollen believes that minority parties like the Animal Justice Party and similar political bodies in other countries can influence their government.
But that party has great potential. But it's not so much the party itself, but it's the idea. What will happen is that other political parties will take on some of their platforms to protect the animals, the environment, water resources, and issues like those. So it'll be like a process of osmosis. It may start with an animal party of some kind, and their policies will leach and leak into the body politic of other political parties. And I think that is where leverage happens. Enlightenment doesn't happen in isolation. It's contagious. And I think kindness is contagious. Like intelligence and knowledge and compassion, these are contagious qualities.
In addition to his hope for the political leaders to be more proactive, Mr. Wollen also wishes to see the media take on a more vital role in speaking out for the voiceless. In his speeches, he often quotes famed pop music icon Sir Paul McCartney's well-known saying, "If the slaughterhouses had glass walls, we'd all be vegans." In an effort to make the slaughterhouses' walls more transparent, Mr. Wollen has himself engaged the power of documentary films, books and social media to get the word out, including providing funding for the game-changing Earthlings trilogy and sponsoring the eye-opening 2018 documentary Dominion. Bright viewers, let us step out to enjoy a few introspective moments under the loving blessings of the cosmos. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back, marvelous viewers. In many of his speeches, Mr. Wollen distinctly points to well-documented facts about the livestock industry's enormous impact on rising global temperature, as well as its gargantuan drain on our natural resources and the strain on the global economy. In a 2013 speech at his childhood school in India, Bishop's Cotton Boys School, he clarified the crux of the problem.
And I'm sure you guys know that greenhouse gas emissions from livestock exceeds those of transport. Cars, trains, buses, ships, the lot. The melting Siberian permafrost now is a ticking time bomb. When it releases its sequestered gas, all bets are off. The Himalayan ice fields are now correctly called the third pole because they irrigate half the world's population through the Ganges, the Indus, the Brahmaputra, the Yangtze, the Irrawaddy, the Mekong, and the Yellow rivers. And they are melting fast. Imagine greenhouse gas emissions hitting 500 parts per million or a 3-degree temperature rise. That would create 100 million eco-refugees, and this calamity will reshape the geopolitical landscape forever. We are facing the perfect storm.
In another speech at the World Vegan Summit in 2015 in Los Angeles, USA, Mr. Wollen said,
"Forest depletion by the meat industry costs 3 times as much as the recent global financial crisis, and it happens every year and no one notices. And meat and dairy is killing us and our economies with cancers, heart diseases, and diabetes." Now, you would know Medicare has already bankrupted the once incredibly powerful United States economy.
Like many enlightened minds who have looked deeply into the troubling state of affairs in our world today, such as the rising global temperatures, world hunger, wildlife extinction, ocean dead zones, air pollution, water shortages, topsoil erosion, income inequality, war and refugees, Mr. Wollen reminds us that the solution is in our hands.
So the problem was caused by us. The problem needs to be solved by us. We don't have a moment to lose. It's a problem that we all must face, and we must all take responsibility for it. It's not insurmountable, but time is short. We're running out of time. Worrying about changing our light globes in our homes is a preposterous waste of time. Sure, by all means, go ahead and do it, but you can't take livestock off the agenda. Without it, we're wasting our time. It must be front and center of everything we do.
People around the world today are realizing that the vegan lifestyle is indeed, as Mr. Wollen calls it, the Swiss Army knife of the future. He compares this one simple action of adopting the vegan diet to the rising of the tide that lifts all boats. And while it is certainly an elegant panacea that is gaining widespread acceptance, Mr. Wollen is well aware that it is not easy for everyone due to our entrenched habits. What then are we as individuals to do? In a speech, Mr. Wollen encouraged people by pointing out there are 1,000 kinds of animals and animal byproducts that we do not consume, which is evidence that it wouldn't be difficult to cut meat and dairy altogether from the diet, he said. So I added only 5 animals to this list: cows, sheep, pigs, birds, or fish. It was so easy. I didn't miss beef anymore, then I missed baboon. I didn't miss chicken anymore, then I missed cheetah. I didn't miss pork anymore, then I missed porcupine. The results were astonishing. I have boundless energy. I am never sick. I discovered that animals were more than collective biology. Each had her own unique biography. He also proposes another powerful method to free ourselves of addictions, a method that he attributes to the respected Greek philosopher Epicurus. If you wish to increase a man's share of happiness, do not increase his possessions. Simply decrease his desires. Since the renouncement of desires is closely associated with spiritual practice, it should come as no surprise that Mr. Wollen has practiced meditation for the past 10 years. Meditation is a veritable gateway to true happiness, enabling one to access eternal heavenly bliss in lieu of the ephemeral pleasures of this world. It is a central message that the world-renowned humanitarian and fully enlightened Master, Supreme Master Ching Hai, has lovingly expounded for over 30 years.
We are in contact directly with our own source of all happiness, of all wish-fulfilling power. Then and there, you will be happier and no want. Desirelessness doesn't mean detesting everything in this life. It's not true, it's not true. It's not true. We like things, we love things, we take care of things, but we're not attached to things. And should things are not there as our request, we're not bothered. Understand? And that is a desirelessness state. But it doesn't mean you don't want to go and make money. No. Be successful. Be as successful as you want to be. Work for it. Use your wisdom inside to be more successful even.
In closing, let us listen to Mr. Wollen as he wraps it all up beautifully.
Men and women of integrity like you in this room must speak out and act courageously. Is it not better to light a candle than to curse the darkness? All the darkness in the world cannot put out the light of a single candle. You see, I believe another day is dawning, and if I close my eyes, I can feel her heartbeat, because in the end, only 3 things matter: how deeply you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things that were not meant for you. Meat was not meant for you.
It is with great respect and honour that we wholeheartedly applaud the extraordinary life and noble endeavours of Mr. Philip Wollen, his wife Trix, and all the activists who work tirelessly alongside them. May heaven and earth bless them forevermore.
Supreme Master Ching Hai gratefully present Mr. Philip Wollen Shining World Compassion Award. With all love, respect and best wishes, may you continue with your saintly, lofty goal in God's mercy and grace. Supreme Master Ching Hai is deeply grateful to the beloved God for all the financial help, comfort and support to the afflicted and needy, and or any good cause over the years, as a humble vessel for His compassion and love toward His precious children.
For more information on Mr. Philip Wollen and Winsome Constant's kindness, please visit kindnesstrust.com. Thank you, sweet viewers, for gracing our show with your presence today.